Recorded Books presents Cage Love 2, A Story of Love and Loyalty by B. Love. Narrated by Laquita James. Prologue. I done ran through so many homies. Baby boy, you don't even know me. I could tell you so many stories. Money make you feel good when you're lonely. Dynasty's hands were up in the air as she swayed and sung along with Ombre Perkins. Bankroll Interlude was one of the few songs she listened to on repeat. In fact, for the past few days, it had been the only song she repeatedly listened to. Her unrelationship, as she liked to call it, with Cordero was beginning to unnerve her. Dynasty called it an unrelationship because she basically gave Cordero husband benefits and he wasn't even her boyfriend. Not because he didn't want to be, but because she wouldn't allow him to be. For the past 7 years, La Familia and her barbershop and male spa cut by Cage was her main priority. Relationships were inconveniences to her. All she wanted from a man was his companionship and the gift between his thighs. But Cordero was a smooth-talking charmer that had her saying and doing and putting up with things she normally wouldn't. Like spending the night at his place, and having conversations until midnight, and consistent sex, and weekend getaways. Yeah, Cordero had her wide open. So open she was considering breaking her #1 rule of keeping her guards up and emotions down. Dynasty Cage was actually considering commitment. And listening to Bankroll Interlude was her way of snapping the hell out of that bullshit. Yo, if you play one more depressing song, I'm pulling you from behind the booth, Aurelia warned. Dynasty opened her eyes, then rolled them at her middle sister. The only reason she didn't say something smart to Aurelia was because she saw Quasi throw the peace sign up at her. Quasi told her a week prior that he wanted to use his initiation party as his opportunity to propose to Dynasty's youngest sister, Sunshine. Right out of the gate, Dynasty and the oldest of the crew, Omega, were completely against Sunshine dating Quasi or anyone else. But somehow he'd mangled his way into her life and heart. And from the looks of it, Sunshine hadn't planned on letting Omega, Dynasty, or Quasi's Uncle Trevor stand in the way of their union. Dynasty nodded his way and returned her eyes to Aurelia. Ray gone somewhere? Dynasty found Quasi's requested song, Gangsta, by Kalani and played it. What's up with you and Cordero? Why something gotta be up with me and Cordero? Aurelia looked at her older sister in disbelief before shaking her head. Everyone knew that Dynasty wasn't much of a talker. She held all that she felt in and expressed herself in more creative ways. Music, cooking, cleaning, creating new strands of Mary Jane, and going to the gun range being her most favorites. Fine, don't talk to me about it. I'm here when you're ready, though. Dynasty nodded and returned her attention to Quasi and Sunshine. Aurelia made her way outside and Dynasty smiled. Knowing Aurelia, she was going to smoke a blunt. Dynasty stepped down from the DJing booth in the corner of Aurelia's restaurant and was about to head outside when she saw Aurelia walk back inside briskly and head for Omega and Roman. She watched their exchange, then turned her attention to Quasi and Sunshine when Aurelia rushed their way. The only person who knew Quasi planned on proposing was Dynasty. Aurelia approved of their union. Roman didn't care either way as long as Quasi didn't bring Sunshine any harm. Dynasty had begun to warm up to the idea of the two together when she saw how happy and at peace her baby sister was because of Quasi. But Omega didn't want Sunshine, Aurelia, or Dynasty committing themselves to relationships anytime soon. So when Dynasty saw Omega storm back inside of the restaurant, she figured it was because he was pissed about Sunshine saying yes to Quasi's proposal. But when Omega pulled his gun out and aimed toward Quasi's head, Dynasty knew this went beyond a cousin who loved the girls more like their brother and wanted to protect their hearts and business. The fuck? Sunshine yelled as she jumped behind Quasi's body to face Omega. Quasi grabbed Sunshine by her waist and tried to push her away from him, but she grabbed his arm and held on for dear life. For his life. This nigga is a fucking snake, Shine. He's been working for Trevor this whole time, Omega thundered as his younger brother Roman ran into the restaurant. No, he's not. Oh, well, he was, but
Sample complete. Ready to continue?